After today's dose of tech, stay tuned for an incredible call for my weekend show, The Kim Komando Show. And this is a conversation you're not going to want to miss. Have you looked at your smartphone lately? It's a mess. Apps all over the place and so many you never use. Let's clean up that phone. It takes just a few minutes. I'm Kim Komando for Total AV, the award-winning antivirus software for just $19 a year right now at protectwithkim.com. Here are some quick tips to get your smartphone back in shape. If you have an iPhone, check your app usage under your screen time settings. From there, you'll see a snapshot of which apps you spend the most time on. You can do the same on Android. Head to your settings, tap on the Digital Wellbeing and Parental Controls button, then delete apps you no longer use. Candy Crush and that intermittent fasting app you used for a week, we're talking about you. Next, remove duplicate photos and deep clean voicemails. They take up a lot of storage space. Now, if you don't want to delete voicemails from loved ones, simply save them to your Google Drive or another cloud account for safekeeping. Join over 600,000 people who get my free newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com. Hey there, tech lovers and wannabes. Want to stay ahead of the game? You've got to check out my YouTube channel. It's amazing. So many people are loving my new and improved channel. For starters, we've got fresh how-to videos every week, like how to block those super annoying political text messages, let important calls through even in Do Not Disturb mode, and oh boy, watch out for sneaky QR codes that can actually brick your phone. It doesn't stop there. Join me for Kim Komando Today, a fun podcast where we break down the latest tech news and trends. It's like talking tech with a friend, minus all the boring stuff. You'll get the latest tips and tricks to keep you in the know and have a little fun while doing it. Plus, who doesn't love being the tech-savvy one in the crowd? So head to youtube.com/KimKomando, hit subscribe, and make sure you never miss a new video or podcast. That's youtube.com/KimKomando. And when you're there, be sure to hit that subscribe button. That's youtube.com/KimKomando, with a K, of course. And I'll see you on the video. I hear this a lot. Bob from Chicago wrote me, I thought I was being careful. I got an email from my bank that looked legit. It said that there was suspicious activity, so I logged in to secure my account. A minute later, my money was gone and I was locked out of my account. Wow. Even the most careful people can get caught up by these clever hackers and scammers. That's why you need solid antivirus protection that instantly blocks harmful malware threats and viruses in real time, keeping your personal data and identity safe. Total AV is the award-winning antivirus software that I use and trust, and so do 35 million other people. Now, it could have stopped this from happening. Here's what you need to do. Go to protectwithkim.com right now and get Total AV for just $19 for the first year, covering up to 5 devices, including Windows, Macs, and smartphones. That's protectwithkim.com. Now, don't wait. I want you to go right now. Your security matters. Get protected right now. Go to protectwithkim.com. Here's an outstanding call for my weekend show. You're going to love it. Of course, my weekend show is called The Kim Komando Show. I know, some things in tech really make sense. Katie in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Hey, Katie.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great. What's going on?
So I'm a huge fan of yours, and I was listening, and believe it or not, it comes on our local radio station in Harrisonburg, Virginia, WSVA, and you have your little tidbits that come on.
Love those.
And we are interested, I love them, but we were interested in purchasing an Apple Watch for our daughter. She's 22. She has the Series 3 right now. She wants one with data. So I was trying to research it on my own, but I also remembered hearing a tidbit about something happening in 60 days with the Apple Watches, and that could impact the price of those watches, something with a trademark that detects the oxygen level or something. I'm sorry, you were much better at explaining this than I am. So I started researching. I was like, okay, what would be a great series? I need to do this because Kim said, if we're going to purchase it, don't wait till Christmas. And I was like, well, I'll just hop on your website and write an email. And then it has been this wonderful progression of being able to speak with you.
Oh, that's awesome, Katie. That's awesome. Thank you. But you retained a lot in that 60-second bit that I was talking about with the Apple Watch. Yeah, there is a trademark violation between the company who has, quote unquote, invented the way that the blood oxygen sensor works by using a red light. And Apple saying like, no, we didn't take that from you. And now it's going through this whole court system. And if, depending upon what happens in the courts, is that they may have to stop selling the watch for a while until they figure it all out. And so that's really what I was talking about. But the difference between going from a Series 3 to a Series 9, she's going to love it. She really will. Because, there's just so many more features to it. I mean, you get emergency SOS, which, I think as a parent of a 22-year-old, that's fabulous, right? That if something happens, whether it's a crash or she's hiking or someplace where there's no cell connection, is that they'll be able to actually get a text message out, fall detection, then always on altimeter, the accelerometer, the gyroscope. And so the whole idea is that if you want to buy an Apple Watch, I probably wouldn't wait, say, another month or so, because this is working its way through the court system. And it's a big company that's going against Apple. It was just like a little guy who's like, I invented this in 1952, be like, all right, well, maybe it's not going to amount to anything. But having a watch, and being able to give it to her and have that big jump from a Series 3 to a 9, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And you recommend the 9 over the 8?
The 9 is the latest and greatest, right? And so, and it's obvious that your daughter keeps things for a long time. And so and I know you can get the 8 a little bit cheaper. The 9 starts at $399. But I'm always for, if you're going to buy somebody who's into the whole Apple ecosystem, she has an iPhone, I bet, right?
Yes.
And then, so she's all into MacBooks and everything's all interconnected.
No, unfortunately, not a MacBook. She is not, but that's okay. She still works in the Mac world with the phone and the watch.
Someday we'll get a MacBook. Someday, when that price comes down, so it's a little bit more reasonable instead of $2,000 or $1,000 out the door, depending upon which model. But I would definitely take a look at the Series 9 versus the Series 8. You do have some other features that you don't get in 8, like the double tap, and the screen is a little bit more clearer, has a better display. I would definitely just go with the 9 instead of the 8 at this point, because, the 8 is old tech, the 9 is the latest and greatest, and hey, she's going to keep it a while. So she's going to get full use out of it. Katie, thank you so much for your call today. Thanks a ton for listening. Now, if you have questions, comments, or just a digital dilemma, find your way to Komando.com and hit that email Kim link. I treat each email like it's a VIP guest at a tech expo. Now, you can turn tech chaos into clarity. How? Well, get my free daily newsletter over at getkim.com.